Now, this is a bit of a shocker, isn't it?
This is a shocker, yeah. You go ahead.
It could take up to 708 days to go from an offence to the completion of a case as court backlogs reach a record high.
That's nearly 2 years, isn't it? The figures are a real blow to the Ministry of Justice, who've been unable to recover from the massive build-up of serious crime cases during the pandemic, of course. They're all still waiting to be dealt with by judges.
Well, let's talk to Stephanie Boyce, President of the Law Society of England and Wales. Good to see you this morning. Look, there's some very real practical problems with the backlog building up like this, isn't there?
Well, absolutely. The figures reveal a record proportion of Crown Court cases that are outstanding for more than a year. And that is a record high since 2014. And these lengthy delays means that defendants are waiting too long. Defendants, witnesses, victims are waiting too long to get the justice they deserve.
Is there any way of prioritising, or are they already prioritising which ones are going to be brought forward?
We understand that, obviously, the less complex cases, those that can be dealt with quickly, are being brought forward, and that has contributed to some of the reduction in the backlog of cases. But the fact that there are just under 60,000 cases backlogged in the Crown Court is a significant number. And of course, to put that into context, what that means is that the lengthy delays cause a traumatised victim can be left waiting years to see their assailant locked up, while an innocent defendant can find their life in limbo while they wait to have their name cleared.
Yeah, I was going to say there's clearly a lot of focus on the victims of crime in all of this, which is quite right. But as you say, for those people who have been falsely accused, that is a very long time. It's almost like serving a sentence as they just wait to get to court.
Well, absolutely. And for some people who are perhaps, in jail whilst they're waiting for their case to be heard, others on bail, those are real implications on their liberty. It possibly could affect their livelihood, their ability to work, where they live. So those are real implications on individuals that these lengthy delays are causing.
What can be done about it? There's only so many lawyers, there's only so many judges actually to preside. How can this be expedited to try and get rid of the backlog?
Well, what is needed is serious investment in the justice system, in the criminal justice system, and that is needed now. So we've had the Independent Criminal Legal Aid Review by Sir Christopher Bellamy, who has recommended a 15% increase in criminal legal aid rates. And just to put this into context, these rates have not increased significantly in the last 25 years. That effectively is a pay freeze for solicitors, those working in the criminal legal aid area, for the last 25 years. So what is needed is this government has had the review, it's had the report from Sir Christopher, and what we say is investment is needed now, and the government needs to invest in our criminal justice system to ensure timely justice for all those concerned.
Well, whereas that may well be a perfectly valid point, if you say if there's not been a pay rise for that length of time, then that does make a difference to the individuals involved. But how would paying people more through legal aid speed up the system?
Well, how it speeds up the system is that we know that through the fact that there has been no significant increase in criminal legal aid rates in the last 25 years, has seen some parts of this country, up and down England and Wales, where individuals will struggle to get a solicitor, representation, legal advice when they need it. We also know that there is an issue in terms of retention and recruitment of those solicitors, those coming into the criminal justice arena. So investing in our justice system will ensure that those who come into the system will stay in the system, and that will ensure that the backlog is starting to clear and those who are caught up in the justice system are represented.
So this backlog isn't just about the pandemic, is it? I remember reading at the very beginning of the pandemic headlines saying, you know, we're going to build up a real backlog of cases here. There are people sitting in jail at the moment who should be having their cases heard, etc. You must have warned the government about that this would happen. Did anyone listen?
Well, quite right. Although the pandemic has worsened, exacerbated recent events, the backlog in the criminal courts predates the pandemic. And that is primarily because of the underinvestment that has continued for years. And we, the Law Society, have been calling on government to invest in our justice system. So whilst we have including the removal of the capping of the number of court days, but also investment in our court infrastructure, we have court closures. So that means that individual citizens are having to travel further to attend court. We also have, through the underinvestment in the justice system, that the number of judges are starting to leave the service. So this has been going on, quite rightly, this has been going on for a number of years. And unless we have that investment, that continuous, consistent investment in our justice system, this will continue. The backlog will grow.
OK. Stephanie Boyce, President of the Law Society of England and Wales. Really good to talk to you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.